Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Janna Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jai Gopi Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Jaya Jasoda Nandana Jai Braja Janaranjana Jaya Yasoda Nandana Jaya Jasoda Nandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Jaya Jamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Jamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Asto Tarasata Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Sri Sri Gaurnitai Ki Sri Sri Radha Govardhana Dari Ki Sri Sri Krishna Balaram Sri Giriraj Govardhana Ki Sri Krishna Janmastami Maha Mahotsava Ki Gaura Premanande. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. So, big thank you to Driti Gopi and her team, dozens of pujaris, magnificent darshan again this morning. And I heard that Sudam Prabhu, it's actually Driti Gopi's the designer, but Sudama Prabhu has wonderfully crafted Sri Jaladuta Ki behind Srila Prabhupada, and also we have Planet Earth with literally hundreds and hundreds of Daiwantes. Yeah, practically you can't see the subcontinent of India. It's completely covered. And other places as well, all around the world. So, Driti Gopi, thank you so much. And there's more coming tomorrow, everyone. More secrets to be revealed tomorrow on Srila Prabhupada's appearance day, but I'm not allowed to say anything about that today. So we'll move on. Very famous verse today, everyone, from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes. Please respond. First of all, we'll say some prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nigamakalpa Tarogalitam Phalam Sukat Mukat Amrita Drava Samhitam Vibhata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Aho Aho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavakaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasvatim Vyasam Tatodayam Udirayat Nasta Prayashu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloki Bhakti Bhavati Nashtaki. The Srimad Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit of the tree of Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Sri Sukadeva Goswami. Therefore, this nectarian fruit is all the more relishable by liberated souls. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. By regularly hearing the Bhagavatam and rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is practically destroyed, and loving service unto the glorious Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Eti chamsa kalopumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakalam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. Someone else? Eti chamsa kalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Ladies? Iti, all these, cha, and, amsha, plenary portions, kalaha, portions of the plenary portions, pumsaha, of the Supreme, Krishna, Lord Krishna, to, but, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Swayam, in person, Indra Ari, the enemies of Indra, Yakulam, disturbed, Lokam, all the planets, Mridayanti, gives protection, Yuge, in different ages. Translation. All of the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. But Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheists. The Lord incarnates to protect the theists. Please repeat. All of the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. But Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheists. The Lord incarnates to protect the theists. Wonderful 2.5-page purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. In this particular stanza, Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, is distinguished from other incarnations. He is counted amongst the avatars, incarnations, because out of his causeless mercy, the Lord descends from his transcendental abode. Avatar means one who descends. All the incarnations of the Lord, including the Lord himself, descend on the different planets of the material world, as also in different species of life, to fulfill particular missions. Sometimes he comes himself, and sometimes his different plenary portions or parts of the plenary portions, or his differentiated portions, directly or indirectly empowered by him, descend on this material world to execute certain specific functions. Originally the Lord is full of all opulences, all prowess, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. When they are partly manifest through the plenary portions or parts of the plenary portions, it should be noted that certain manifestations of his different powers are required for those particular functions. When in the room small electric bulbs are displayed, it does not mean that the electric powerhouse is limited by the small bulbs. The same powerhouse can supply power to operate large-scale industrial dynamos with greater volts. Similarly, the incarnations of the Lord display limited powers because so much power is needed at that particular time. For example, Lord Parashuram and Lord Nrsimha displayed unusual opulence by killing the disobedient Kshatriyas 21 times and killing the greatly powerful atheist Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was so powerful that even the demigods in other planets would tremble simply by the unfavorable raising of his eyebrow. The demigods in the higher levels of material existence many, many times excel the most well-to-do human beings in duration of life, beauty, wealth, paraphernalia, and in all other respects. Still, they were afraid of Hiranyakashipu. Thus, we can simply imagine how powerful Hiranyakashipu was in this material world. But even Hiranyakashipu was cut into small pieces by the nails of Lord Nrsimha. This means that anyone materially powerful cannot stand the strength of the Lord's nails. Similarly, Jabad Agni displayed the Lord's power to kill all the disobedient kings, powerfully situated in their respective states. The Lord's empowered incarnation Narad and plenary incarnation Varaha, as well as indirectly empowered Lord Buddha, created faith in the mass of people. The incarnations of Rama and Dhanvantari displayed his fame, and Balaram, Mohini, and Vamana exhibited his beauty. Dattatreya, Matsya, Kumara, and Kapila exhibited his transcendental knowledge. Nara and Narayan Rishis exhibited his renunciation. So all the different incarnations of the Lord indirectly or directly manifested different features. But Lord Krishna, the primeval Lord, exhibited the complete features of Godhead, and thus it is confirmed that he is the source of all other incarnations. And the most extraordinary feature exhibited by Lord Sri Krishna was his internal energetic manifestation of his pastimes with the cowherd girls. His pastimes with the gopis are all displays of transcendental existence, bliss and knowledge, although these are manifested apparently as sex love. The specific attraction of his pastimes with the gopis should never be misunderstood. The Bhagavatam relates these transcendental pastimes in the 10th canto. And in order to reach the position to understand the transcendental nature of Lord Krishna's pastimes with the gopis, the Bhagavatam promotes the student gradually in 9 other cantos. According to Srila Jiva Goswami's statement, in accordance with authoritative sources, Lord Krishna is the source of all other incarnations. It is not that Lord Krishna has any source of incarnation. All the symptoms of the Supreme Truth are in full are present in the person of Lord Sri Krishna. And in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord emphatically declares that there is no truth greater than or equal to himself. In this stanza, the word Swayam is particularly mentioned to confirm that Lord Krishna has no other source than himself. Although in other places the incarnations are described as Bhagavan because of their specific functions, nowhere are they declared to be the Supreme Personality. In this statement, the word Swayam signifies the supremacy as the Summum Bonum. The Summum Bonum, Krishna, is one without a second. He himself has expanded himself in various parts, portions and particles as Swayam Rupa, Swayam Prakash, Tad Ekatma, Prabhav, Vaibhav, Vilas, Avatar, Avesha and Jivas, all provided with innumerable energies just suitable to the respective persons and personalities. Learned scholars in transcendental subjects have carefully analyzed the Summum Bonum Krishna to have 64 principal attributes. All the expansions or categories of the Lord possess only some percentage of these attributes. But Sri Krishna is the possessor of the attributes cent per cent. And his personal expansions, such as Swayam Prakash and Tad Ekatma, up to the categories of the avatars, who are all Vishnu Tattva, possess up to 93% of these transcendental attributes. Lord Shiva, who is neither avatar nor avesha nor in between them, possesses almost 84% of the attributes. But the jivas, or the individual living beings in different statuses of life, possess up to the limit of 78% of the attributes. In the conditioned state of material existence, the living being possesses these attributes in very minute quantity, varying in terms of the pious life of the living being. The most perfect of living beings is Brahma, the supreme administrator of one universe. He possesses 78% of the attributes in full. All other demigods have the same attributes in less quantity, whereas human beings possess the attributes in very minute quantity. The standard of perfection for a human being is to develop the attributes up to 78% in full. The living being can never possess attributes like Shiva, Vishnu, or Lord Krishna. A living being can become godly by developing the 78% transcendental attributes in fullness, but he can never become a god like Shiva, Vishnu, or Krishna. He can become a Brahma in due course. The godly living beings who are all residents of the planets of the spiritual sky are eternal associates of God in different spiritual planets called Haridharma and Maheshdharma. The abode of Lord Krishna above all spiritual planets is called Krishna Loka or Goloka Vrindavan, and the perfected living beings, by developing 78% of the above attributes in fullness, can enter the planet of Krishna Loka after leaving the present material body. Srila Prabhupada Ki. So we have one more little bit of reading, everybody, which I'm going to ask you to do for me, please. And that is the Gita Mahatmya. Here we are. Fantastic. Let's read it all together, everyone. It's really wonderful. As you can see there, it's found in the Padma Purana. And it's a conversation. Lord Shiva is the speaker, and he's speaking to his consort Parvati. So we'll just read the English not the Sanskrit every one. There's only 7 verses, but it's very beautiful on this most auspicious occasion. We can start from where it says, let's go back to the start, if Dr. Prabhu, if that's okay. It's a little bit of an introduction here, just sort of. I think that's it. Yeah, let's start with everybody. Parvati said, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. Lord, I long to hear from you. From Bhagavad Gita, which was spoken by Lord Krishna, by hearing which one's devotion to Lord Krishna increases. Bhagavad Gita is the transcendental literature which one should read very carefully. If one properly follows the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, one can be freed from all miseries and anxieties in this life, and one's next life can be spiritual. There's also a further advantage. As Bhagavad Gita very sincerely, with all seriousness, and the grace of the Lord, actions of his past and received from him. Too. As the religion ever surrender unto me, much utterly leave from all sinful reactions, do not fear. The Lord has all responsibilities for one who surrenders unto him, and he identifies such a person against all reactions of sin. One may cleanse himself daily by taking a bath in water, but if one takes a bath even once in the sacred Ganges water, for him the dirt of material life is all vanquished. Bhagavad Gita, spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one need not read any other Vedic literature. One need only attended regularly here and read Bhagavad Gita. In the present age, people are so absorbed in mundane activities that it is not possible for them to read all the Vedic literatures. This is not necessary. One book, Bhagavad Gita, will suffice because it is the essence of all Vedic literatures, and especially because it is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who drinks the water of the Ganges salvation, not to speak of one who drinks the nectar of the Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna, who is famous as a cowherd boy, milking his cow. As follows and pure devotees start to drink the nectarian milk of Bhagavad Gita. In this present day, people are very much eager to have one scripture, one God, one religion, one occupation. Therefore, let there be one scripture only, one common scripture for the whole world. Bhagavad Gita. Let there be one God for the whole world, Sri Krishna. Alalanatha, one hymn, one mantra, one prayer. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And let there be one work only, serves the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you, Dakshaji. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. So I was standing next to Rupa Raghunath yesterday morning waiting to greet the deities, and he had a book in his hand. I said, "What you reading, Rupa?" And he said, "Bhagavad Gita. I try to read a chapter every day." So, very nice. Amagyana timarandasya ginanjana shalakaya chakshu unminitam jena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My spiritual master has very kindly come, forced to open my eyes with the torchlight of transcendental knowledge. I offer my most respectful obeisances unto him. So I know it is Srimad Bhagavatam class, but I thought that was very nice. Gita and Bhagavatam for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And of course this verse, very famous in our Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. We'll say a little bit more about it in just a moment, everyone. But and of course, just to confirm another famous verse spoken by Lord Shiva to his consort Parvati is Aradhananam Sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam Param Tasmat Paratram Devi Tadiyanam Samacharam. Of all forms of worship, the highest worship is that of Lord Vishnu or Krishna. But even higher is the worship of Lord Krishna's devotees, Tadiya, and the paraphernalia of Krishna, but especially Krishna's devotees. So, we know at the start of this age, Srila Vyasadeva took a great deal of trouble to write down all the Vedic literatures. He is known as, Vyasa means editor and compiler. But even after such a monumental literary accomplishment, he wasn't fully satisfied. And his spiritual master Narada Muni appeared and identified the cause of his dissatisfaction was that he hadn't sufficiently glorified the name, fame, pastimes, entourage of Lord Sri Krishna. And if he did that, he would experience full santosha. Santosha means contentment. And I found that by going to the Byron Yoga website, close at hand. I thought I knew the meaning of the word, but yes, it was confirmed. Contentment. But there was another reason, there are actually many reasons, but another important reason Narad gave Vyas was that inadvertently, even though your literary accomplishment is highly commendable, you've created confusion. Because in one Veda, one Upanishad, one Purana, it says worship this God. But in another it says worship another. And it also, you've stated how either Karma Yoga or Jnana Yoga or Astanga Yoga or Bhakti Yoga are the highest. But in other places it says something different. So you've created this confusion. So write one more book. And fully glorify the pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna, who both Vyasadeva and Narad were very well acquainted with because Krishna performed his wonderful, super excellent, superhuman pastimes in their company. And many of those pastimes are there in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam has many wonderful names, such as the other page, Samadhi Darshan, and also the Paramahamsa Samhita. Samadhi Darshan means that Vyasadeva went into deep samadhi before compiling the Bhagavatam, and by the grace of Narad, he was able to write down Krishna's wonderful pastimes. 10 topics, culminating in what is known as Ashraya, which means shelter, or the Summum Bonum. It's like we have different ashrams, ashram, ashraya, like that, a place of shelter. So, Vyasadeva did that, and Paramahamsa Samhita, of course, means it's the reading material for the Paramahamsas, or at least we should be aspiring Paramahamsas, those who have, like swans, the ability to take from a mixture of milk and water just the milk and leave behind the waters. So Paramahamsas have that ability to relish just the pastimes of Sri Krishna and leave behind the inferior material energy. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he has identified two broad schools of bhakti. One is known as Tattva Vichar, and the other is Rasatmika Bhakti. Tattva Vichar refers to philosophical search for the absolute truth based on studying very deeply the Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra, the Puranas, Gita, and so on, and then meditating on the meaning of those great scriptures. And yes, doing deity worship and other angas of bhakti, but not so much in this age chanting the holy names. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's followers, they are known as Rasatmika Bhaktas. We're more interested, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has set the gold standard of knowing about Krishna's relationships with his devotees and relishing hearing of those relationships with the Lord's confidential associates. Speaking of meditation, as this Krishna consciousness movement grows, explodes all over the world, as we can see from the globe of planet Earth, more and more people are becoming attracted to Krishna. That's natural. And we have many wonderful devotee preachers traveling all over, and many people come to the threshold of bhakti, and they can see and hear and feel and taste there's something here, something I've been looking for. As we talk to many of our wonderful visitors here, they say, I've been looking for something like this. Spiritual seekers are always there, and truth seekers. So Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, who I'm sure many of us have the utmost respect as one of many, many spiritual geniuses, when approached in his travelling worldwide, he has the wonderful ABCD. A for association. If new people come and get to associate with devotees, devotees love to talk about Krishna and present the philosophy of Krishna consciousness in whatever dosage a spiritual seeker, is ready to assimilate. So that's the first. And then books. Read the books so mercifully presented to the world by Srila Prabhupada. And then meditate or contemplate what we've read in those books. It's very deep, profound. Think it over. So contemplation. And the last is D for diet. And if new people aren't already committed vegetarians, well, of course we encourage them in that direction. And even better is to become a prasadam Aryan. Eat only foodstuffs offered to Krishna. So, we're going to leave some. I think we're allowed to go a little over time today, everyone, because no breakfast, and it is a fast day. So we will try and cover a few points here, everyone. Come back to. All right. Let's just mention a few of Krishna's, at least our favourite names of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they're found throughout Vedic literatures, not just in this Bhagavatam or other Puranas. Krishna's there in all the Puranas. And interestingly, even the Puranas meant as reading for persons heavily steeped in the mode of ignorance, there is much glorification, such as Skanda Purana, which is the largest of all the Puranas. It's one of the Puranas, as I say, in the six for each of the three modes of material nature, meant for persons absorbed in those modes predominantly. So wonderful descriptions in the Skanda Purana of Mathura Mahatmya and the glories of Purushottam, Kshetradam and Dwarkadam. That's all found there. And how Krishna's great grandson installed many wonderful deities of Krishna throughout Mathura Mandala. So all those we find there in the Skanda Purana. So in different Puranas, Upanishads, we have the Gopala Tapani Upanishad, there's even a Chaitanya Upanishad. So some names, and our acharyas have like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, gone to great pains to research, and 6 Goswamis, how, for example, in the Taittiriya Upanishad, Vishwanath Chakravarti has commented that the word rasa is found there, raso vai saha, Krishna. So this is not just a made-up word by the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. No, it's there in the Upanishads, which are the original part of the original Vedas. And it's Shruti, not Smriti. Shruti means that which is heard. Smriti means that which is remembered and realized. They're just some of the meanings. So rasa vai saha, Krishna. Krishna is rasa. And similarly, Akila Rasamrita Murti, just like the ocean is the personification of all waters. So similarly, Krishna is the personification of all mellows, humours, relationships that he has with every living entity. And the whole idea of bhakti yoga practices is to revive, remember that relationship, enter into it with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhava Grahi Janardana, Krishna knows the sentiment of all his devotees. Even in adverse conditions, how a devotee is trying to serve Krishna, even when the odds seem stacked against us and the world is against us, we're still struggling somehow or other to serve Krishna. Sometimes our devotees have twins. All of us that are parents, grandparents, great-grandparents now, we know to raise one child, some of our devotees have twins. And I know some dear devotee friends who are the parents of twins. Their twins are all grown up now. But Mum and Dad told me when their twins were born, neither of them chanted any rounds for a whole year. And they're very good sadhakas. But that just wasn't possible. But still, as Bhava Grahi Janardana, Krishna understood their sentiment, still wanting to serve. So, and of course, in that way, we know when Krishna entered the wrestling arena of Kamsa, that all the different personalities there saw the Lord differently. The aristocratic ladies of Mathura saw him as like Cupid personified. Kamsa saw him as death personified. Kamsa also has a rasa with Krishna, but it's based on fear, bhaya. And other devotees saw him in different ways like that. So this evening at 8:30 there will be Krishna book readings, and I didn't want to jump ahead, but I thought I might tell one pastime, because we know in Krishna's Braja Leela the Lord did liberate a total, or chastise severely, a total of 21 different personalities. 2 of those are Lord Brahma and Lord Indra, who had their pride curbed by Krishna in different ways. But the first demoness is Putana. And there is an interesting little bit of background about Putana, which our acharyas share with us. And Putana in a previous life was Ratnamala. She was either the sister or the daughter of King Bali. And when Lord Vamanadev appeared at the sacrifice of Bali, Putana, who was then Ratnamala, became very attracted to him in a paternal way. She thought, what a beautiful, handsome boy. I would love to have a boy like this as my son. But then her mood changed dramatically when Lord Vamana traversed the entire universe with just 2 steps of land. Because Bali Maharaj did offer the Lord in charity as a beautiful Brahmin boy, please beg some charity from me, I will give you whatever you like. And he was surprised, Bali Maharaj, when this boy asked for just 3 steps of land and traversed with his first to the entire universe. So, of course, Sukracharya, Bali's family priest, Kula Guru, was terrified because he was dependent on the stipend of Bali Maharaj to maintain his own family. And all of a sudden, this boy has just taken over the whole universe. So, and Shukracharya advised Bali Maharaj, don't, he's Vishnu. Don't give him anything. Don't give him any. But Bali Maharaj, even though he appeared in the family of demons, grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. Did I get that right? Thank you. He was actually a great devotee. So he rejected the advice of his guru and said, no, if he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I have to give him whatever he wants. And when asked where the Lord should put his 3rd footstep, he said, put it on my head. So, and our acharyas explain that if one is unfortunate enough to approach a guru who's not a Vaishnava in the first instance, then one, and doesn't encourage his disciple to worship Vishnu, to worship Krishna, and to give everything to Krishna, or as much as one can, then one should reject such a imposter. So, of course, at that point, soon to become Putana, Ratnamala, her mood changed, and she became angry to the point where she said, I still want to become this boy's mother, but when I do, I'll kill him. And that was the next incarnation of Putana. And our acharyas explain that the reason, there's 4 reasons, it could be a combination or 1 or 2 or 3, the 4 reasons that Krishna closed his eyes when Putana approached him, looking just like a goddess of fortune. Somehow or other she'd managed, as great Rakshasas and Rakshashinis are able to do. She'd entered Gokul, beautifully dressed, looking exquisite. So Mother Jasoda and the other elders had no hesitation in allowing her even into the confidential association of the Supreme Lord. So Krishna closed his eyes when Putana offered him her own breast milk. So one possibility is Krishna thought it very distasteful to see Putana, understanding who she really was. Another explanation is, I'm going to kill you, but it's okay. Third is, according to Vedas, women are never to be killed, along with children and old men. So Krishna felt a little uncomfortable with this. And but then he felt comfortable because he saw her as his nurse. And Putana is the only one, the only personality who gets promoted directly back to home, back to Godhead, to Goloka, and takes up an occupation, a service as one of Krishna's nurses. And of course we know that, and Prabhupada elaborates very wonderfully in the Krishna book, how in the northwestern states of India, in the foothills of the Himalayas, there, and even today, there are powerful yoginis, expert in the tantric black arts, and they're known as kitaris, not kicharis. We normally have that for breakfast, but not this morning. And such personalities, such ladies, they know mystic powers to the point, and their preoccupation or their pastime is to fly about on upturned trees with all the roots out the back. Now that may remind some of us of early childhood stories of witches in Eastern Europe getting about on broomsticks. And we did meet once. It's more than 30 years ago in Mayapur. There was one devotee who came from one of those regions in the northwestern side, foothills of the Himalayas, and he stated very categorically that he'd once been kidnapped by one of these witches and taken for a joyride or a terror ride. So he didn't elaborate, but he said it was very frightening. So there we go. That's a little bit about, a little bit more. Oh, and very interestingly, when, of course, Krishna sucked out the life air of Putana, and at that point she manifested her enormous demoniac real identity. And all the cowherd men had to dispose of her body, and they did that by chopping it up and then burning it. And it's said that the aroma from the burnt pieces of Putana's body, it smelled just like a very famous perfume incense. Anyone know what that was called? Aguru, thank you. I knew Bobby would know the answer to that, and Krishna Rupa got it too. Aguru. Aguru. So, and there was so much smoke, it went up, and as we know, evaporation, it formed clouds, and then when the clouds rained down, they rained down this most celestial fragrance of Aguru in puddles here and there. So, the other personalities, she had two brothers. Anyone know the two brothers of Putana? Aghasura and Bakasura. Yeah, yes, two brothers. Yes, the python demon and the gigantic stork demon. Aghasura and Bakasura, yes. They were the two brothers, and they were very upset with Krishna. That was part of the reason that they came later on, assumed very mysterious forms. And of course, Bhaktivinoda and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati and other acharyas, they liken Putana as, again, pseudo-religionists or bogus gurus who come, and instead of teaching pure devotional service, they teach karma and jnana. Yes, so we have to be on guard of those. So let's just see what we can cover here as well. Yes, Hare Krishna. All right. There's a special day today. Oh, yes, I did want to go back. All right. Let's talk, and Prabhupada does discuss it in his wonderful purport here. Krishna is, of course, famous as Avatari Krishna. Just as one candle can light many other candles, and they all burn brilliantly, but still there's one original candle. So that is our Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And in the Krishna Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami refers to this famous verse as a example of Paribhasa Sutra. And his definition of a Paribhasa Sutra is: a great heroic emperor overrules hundreds of opposing statements, assimilating them into itself, the emperor's statement. And the emperor's statement are the words Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. And he also states that this is the principle behind all the pastime statements in Srimad Bhagavatam. It's only mentioned once in the text, but it harmonizes, expresses a concept very precisely. So that's Srila Jiva Goswami's understanding. And we know Srila Prabhupada had a number of foreign godbrothers and god sisters initiated by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And one of those, it appears, Prabhupada shared on occasion some remembrances, fond remembrances of his German godbrother Sadananda Prabhu, who later on became Swami Sadananda. And he was either brought from Germany, he was a very well-educated young German man, and a theist and a scholar. He either made his own way to India, or was brought by Hriday Bon Maharaj. Anyway, he shared with Prabhupada, who passed it on, that he came to India not looking for mystic yogis. He understood that modern science had already achieved many of the yogic perfections, Anima Siddhi, Prapti Siddhi, and so on. Already by that time, the 1920s or 30s, engineers could tunnel through mountains. There were submarines, there were aeroplanes, there were so many modern scientific. So he was interested in understanding deeply the personality of Godhead. And he travelled around Bengal for some time, went to many different temples of different demigods. And then he came, as we were hearing from Krishna Rupa yesterday, to the magnificent Bagh Bazar temple in Calcutta, and he saw beautiful deities of Radha and Krishna. And he understood that Krishna is actually the supreme person, because all the other devatas, Lord Shiva, his consort Devi, and Lord Brahma, they're all busy doing something, but Krishna's not doing anything. He's simply standing there with his consort playing his flute. So he came to that wonderful realization. And of course, Prabhupada sometimes explained that when Krishna expands, because he also has responsibilities, he expands as Lord Vishnu, Narayan. He goes to his Vaikuntha planets, and that's like his office, where the demigods, when there is a big problem, they go to him. Or in this material universe, the Lord expands his planet Sweta-dweep like that. But in his original transcendental form, Krishna is simply enjoying. And some of us might have been gazing at the different phases of the moon when I was out in the dark chanting earlier on this morning. Beautiful half moon, exactly a half a moon showing. And some wonderful Sanskrit words such as punatara and punutama. And they're described as perfect, more perfect, and most perfect. And that is in relationship to Dwaka being perfect, Mathura more perfect, and Sri Krishna's Braja Leela most perfect. Highest degree of fullness and perfection, completeness. So that is Krishna's, of course, most wonderful. And Krishna, with Srimati Radharani, worshipped in the Gaudiya Sampradaya predominantly. And Mahaprabhu's special gift to the world, revealing that, breaking open the storehouse of love of Godhead and freely distributing the highest thing even to the lowest persons, which is most extraordinary, where the highest thing is given even to people who are very lowly and not considered particularly qualified. Sweetness and intimacy, that is Mahaprabhu and his associates' special gift. And I know I had something very... Perhaps we can just finish with a brief overview of the Brihad Bhagavat Amrita, where we know it consists of two quests. The first by Narad, traveling all over the universe, interviewing so many of Krishna's most confidential devotees, trying to find out who has the most of Krishna's mercy. And eventually ends up in Dwarka. And Krishna invites him to lunch. And he asks Krishna over lunch, who of your devotees has the most of your mercy? And Krishna just laughs and says, don't you understand, Narad? All my devotees have my complete mercy. And the second quest is Gopakumara, simple cowherd boy from Govardhana who meets in his boyhood a mysterious Vaishnav guru, who initiates him into the famous Gopal mantra, but doesn't say very much and heads away. So Gopakumara also goes on a quest to find out the worshipable Ishtadev of his mantra, the famous Gopal mantra. And he goes here and he goes there, goes many, many places. Even one of the personalities, or a few that he meets, are brahmanas worshipping Krishna in his mysterious form of Shalagram. And Gopakumara has never seen the brahmana, and astonished, my dear boy, you've never seen the Lord being worshipped as Shalagram? No, I've never seen. And he observes this brahmana worshipping his beloved Shalagram Shila, and then just offering him, and the worship's very simple, and then he offers him simply a piece of sandesh with a tulsi leaf on it, some water, and then puts him in a box for the rest of the day. And Gopakumara is astonished. My God, you worshipped him, you hardly fed him, and now you're putting him in a box? And the brahmana says, oh, my dear boy, Krishna's very merciful. We can worship him like this, and he's more than satisfied with this. I did hear that Prabhupada's father, Gorma Hyundai, when he used to have to travel around Bengal purchasing cloth for his cloth shop, he used to take with him a Shalagram Shila in a little bag around his neck. Very common for Vaishnavas to do. So, of course, Gopakumara eventually ends up in Vaikuntha. And again, Narad's there. And Gopakumara's a little bit out of place. He's dressed in his simple cowherding attire. And the Vaikuntha-vasis come and offer him another 2 alms and some royal cloth and jewelry. He actually plays his flute, because all cowherd boys have flutes. So he plays his flute for the pleasure of Lord Narayan, and Lord Narayan, Krishna, appreciates that very much. But the Vaikuntha-vasis have to kind of, just like when we're all new devotees, we get a little bit of instruction here and there. Hopefully it's given with love and affection. Trying to do that more these days. Some of us who joined in the early days, it was like boot camp. It was harsh. Some of us survived. Some of us preferred to find another devotee we got along with and get in a Sankirtan van and agree to go out and just travel and sell books and make money for the temple. Because it was, yes. But anyway, the Vaikuntha-vasis said, look, don't shuffle around like this. Stay, offer your veneration in awe and reverence to Lord Narayan. But Narad showed him mercy. He came and said, my dear Gopakumara, we can't talk about it here, but there is actually a higher place. Come to the side, we'll talk about it. And of course that was the fulfillment of Gopakumara's quest. It eventually does arrive in Sri Krishna's Krishna Loka, Goloka Vrindavan. So perhaps everyone, I'll leave a little time. We were told that we could speak to about now, and just see if anyone has a comment or a question. Hari Bo, is Bhakta Mike up on Janmastami morning? I think so. We'll do our best, Prabhu. Otherwise, I know I can call on my many wonderful devotee friends here, more knowledgeable than I.
Hare Krishna. Is there a pastime where Srimati Radharani is upset with Krishna because he killed a woman, and was that Putana?
I'm not aware of. Does anybody know? I've never heard of Radharani getting upset with Krishna for killing Putana, but maybe somewhere deep buried in Goswami literature. Is anyone looking around? No?
The story I heard was that to cleanse himself of that, he had to bathe in every holy river, and so he manifested...
That was the bull demon.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
And Radharani and the gopis chastised him, severely, what was the bull demon's name again? Aristasura, of course. And they didn't want to know about Krishna. They said, you've killed a bull. It's really sinful. Now you have to go and take bath in all the holy... So Krishna said, look, I'll manifest them all here. I'll call them all here and I'll take a bath. And he did that. So yeah, briefly, you're right. No worries, clarification. Jai, just behind you there we have Narahari Senior.
I'm talking about Hiranyakashipu and how he's classified as an atheist. Yeah, he performs yajnas and he serves Lord Brahma particularly to get favours. So how could he be an atheist and still appreciate the higher being?
Sure. Atheist, yes, or at least a follower of Vedic culture. It's interesting that when Hiranyakashipu, and some of you have been to the movies more recently might know better than me, we didn't make it along, but when Lord Nrsingadev did tear Prahlad's father apart, Nrsingadev was very angry, and he told Brahma, in future, don't give these boons out so liberally. You've caused me a lot of inconvenience. I've had to take this special form, half man, half lion, appear not in the daytime or the nighttime, not inside a house, outside a house. This is a real botheration. Please don't. He was very angry. Brahma, Shiva, even the Lord's consort Lakshmi couldn't approach him. It was only Prahlad who could come. So, atheist, he definitely wanted to become immortal. That was his plan. And sometimes Krishna does cheat the demons. They may have an aspiration, but not necessarily they're going to be. Krishna's much more intelligent than even big personalities. Anybody else want to add something to Narahari's question? Yeah. Narahari, if you want to pass along to Mani Bandagopal. Thank you.
I would suggest Hiranyakashipu was under the influence of the curse of the four Kumaras, because Vishnu said, "You'll be connected me through the yoga of anger." So, and Vishnu can only fight he enjoys those pastimes, but he fights the demon, so somebody has to play the part of the demon. So therefore, through the influence of the curse, he was under the influence of that so-called atheistic, mood. But it's also Brihad Bhagavatam. What's the other one? Brihad Bhagavatam-rita, there's the other one. Laghu Bhagavatam-rita mentions that when Lord Nrsingadev was bifurcating Hiranyakashipu, at that point Hiranyakashipu recognised, this is my Lord. So in other words, the influence of the curse had finished.
All right, yeah. Wonderful. Thank you.
So that's my offering.
We'll go with that. Thanks, Mani Bandagopal. Anything else? Prabhu's? Yeah. Maybe we can bring the microphone to Krishna Rupa. Sure. Please.
We've got the opportunity, as we do every year, of making lots and lots of garlands for Srila Prabhupada for tomorrow. So we'll be setting up in a few, after class and etc. So anyone, boys or girls, men or women, please come and join us. Jai Prada Radhika will be heading it up and I'll be assisting. So here's a chance to make lots of garlands for Prabhupada for tomorrow. So we'll be setting up tables in here. So please come and help make some garlands. Hare Krishna.
Jai. All right, any other announcements? All good? Okay. Jai Sri Krishna Janmastami Mahamahotsava ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Gaura Premanandi.